This is Chris Carter, host of the Locked On Steelers podcast, and this is your Locked On Now update after the Pittsburgh Steelers have defeated the Atlanta Falcons 19-16 in Atlanta. It was a huge win for the Steelers, a gritty win. The defense had one bad drive where they were getting plowed by the Falcons, but otherwise they were able to keep things limited. Cordero Patterson only 60 yards on the ground. Tyler Algier 52 yards on the ground, 17 yards for Mariota. Mariota had one passing touchdown, but Minkah Fitzpatrick with a game-clinching interception. Really good showing by the defense. And what we're seeing also from the Steelers offense, they're still not putting up a whole bunch of points, but they're showing more efficiency in this game. 19 points. Kenny Pickett, 16 of 28, 197 yards through the air, threw a nice touchdown pass to Connor Heyward. But we're seeing, again, no interceptions. He hasn't thrown an interception for the Steelers since the bye week, which is a really good showing for them. Also, in this game, only 1 3-and-out, which is a huge step up for the Steelers where you go back and you look at things. And that has played a huge role into the Steelers' wins, is that their offensive efficiency has improved. They were 50% on third down in this game. They kept the ball moving. Still need to improve in the red zone. They were one of 3 there. But when you look at time of possession, the Steelers are able to win that by 5 minutes. That's what's allowing the Steelers defense to recover and play better late. The Falcons started to drive on them later in the game, but the Steelers were able to settle things down after the Dolphins got their touchdown. The Steelers were able to get 40 yards, ended up pinning them at the 1, and that's where the Steelers were able to make the clinching play. But what's coming to pass is the Steelers are finding ways to play their style of football against the teams that they should beat or have the better chance to beat. They're making teams play the game slower, running the ball more. Najee Harris, another very solid game in this one, 86 yards on 17 carries. Also, Pat Freiermuth, really strong day. Really strong day from a lot of the skilled players. Benny Snell, 24 yards on 6 carries. Jalen Warren had 5 yards on the carry. Pat Freiermuth, 76 yards, including a 57-yarder where he ripped off a huge play. Connor Heyward with a touchdown. Really good plays from a lot of those guys. The one person that's still letting the team down, Deontay Johnson, really rough day for him. Got saved with a call that I thought was a fumble live. They called it an incomplete pass because of a drop, but more drops from him, more missed opportunities. But the Steelers finding ways to win in the midst of that. That's really big for this team and really big for a young Kenny Pickett. We'll break more things down as we do our full episode of the Locked On Steelers podcast. Again, I'm your host, Chris Carter. Find us on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, and especially on YouTube. Be back with a full episode really soon here on the Locked On Steelers podcast.